Let's talk about something really important. Let's talk about who were the gladiators.
Who were the gladiators? The Romans captured and recruited gladiators from all over the world. Every tribe, culture, and country contributed gladiators for the fight. In addition, women gladiators were also recruited and known to be bravely engage in contests to the death.
That's deep. People don't realize the fact that there are actually women gladiators, and some of them were so brave and so tough, they defeated men in combat. That's very impressive.
Most often, gladiators were slaves who were selected or requested an opportunity to train and live better lives. They realized that by training with other gladiators and experts, they would be able to hone their skills and become better warriors.
That's deep.
They attended special gladiator schools where they lived, trained to exhaustion, and reached their full potential as warriors. If they fought well and won often enough, they could win their freedom.
Freedom is very important. Let's talk about today.
Today, recovery warriors are like ancient gladiators.
Prove your point.
Addiction enslaves people from all cultures, tribes, and countries, taking away their freedom. Often these addicts have lost contact with family and friends. Many have also lost hope.
That's heartbreaking. Many of them have even lost hope.
Accordingly, many addicts are even slain and disabled by addiction.
Evil.
These addicts who have yearned to be free turn to treatment centers, off other addicts, and experts to get help.
Even 12-step meetings.
If they train hard and learn well, they can earn their freedom.
Freedom is so important.
Remember, not all prison walls are made of brick and mortar.
Some of the worst traps in prison walls are created by the mind.
To face and fight addiction is to be valiant. Freedom from active addiction is a glorious thing. Welcome to the Gladiator School for Recovery.
That's beautiful. And one thing about this concept, fortune favors the bold. We always fight addiction and we never lose. It's do or die. It's do or die.
Fortune favors the bold.
Genevieve, let's talk about understanding Superman.
There are many different types of superheroes
Yes.
with all kinds of superpowers.
True.
Regardless, out of these special do-gooders, Superman is king.
He is a badass.
Superman is the number one superhero due to many reasons. However, I believe he is the best superhero because of one particular factor.
Please continue.
Superman is the best superhero because he knows what his weakness is.
What?
Unlike the others, he realizes specifically what to avoid. Our courageous Caped Crusader must avoid kryptonite.
Leave that alone.
In fact, his life depends on it.
It does.
He knows what it can do to him and he leaves it alone. Superman is well aware that messing around with kryptonite will make him look stupid, weak, and even dead.
And no one wants to look stupid, weak, and even dead.
Therefore, he actively avoids it in order to reach his full potential.
Yes.
Many people never know what their weakness is.
So sad. Many people will never even know or identify what their true weakness is.
They live life doing, taking, and using things that cause them harm.
Wow.
Of course, people warn them to stop.
Stop doing dumb shit.
But they ignore the advice. They may use drugs and alcohol even though when they get high, they look stupid, weak, and even dead.
Sorry. Wow.
If consuming drugs and alcohol is preventing you from reaching your full potential, well, you have been made aware of your kryptonite.
That's important.
You need to leave it alone so you can have a great life and soar to new heights. Realize this, strength grows from knowledge of weakness.
That's some Yoda shit right there. Strength grows from knowledge of weakness.
You deserve to be your best.
You deserve it.
You deserve to be happy and successful. Yes, you deserve a life free from kryptonite.
Fuck addiction, you deserve recovery. Genevieve, let's talk about love is actionable. And love is actionable. Please go ahead.
Okay, definition of love. Unselfish, loyal, and benevolent concern for the good of another.
That sounds very pretty. Please continue.
Definition of actionable. Demonstrable.
Demonstratable?
Demonstratable.
Demonstrable. Let's roll with it.
Okay. Many people, including addicts, say they love someone with deep conviction.
I love that person.
If you ask them, do you love your mother?
I love my mama.
They will state more than anything in the world.
Of course they say that.
Most people have someone in their life that they love dearly, and they're not afraid to tell you about it. If you ask them, would you take a bullet to save your mom, sister, brother, husband, etc., they will respond, yes, of course, I wouldn't hesitate.
Of course they say that out loud. Okay, please continue.
Now when you ask an addict, has the person you claim to love ever made any request of you with regards to getting high, they often hesitate, and then they say,
well, you know...
well, mom, wife, etc. did ask me to stop getting high.
Asked you to stop getting high?
Well, did you honor the request?
Did you honor that request?
No, but it's hard to stop.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well,
love is actionable. Prove your point.
If you claim to love someone, then you have contracted with them to care.
A contract to care, legally binding.
If you have told them and others that the person you love means a great deal to you. You have told them and others that the person you love means a great deal to you.
You said it out loud.
When you love someone in a real way, their needs, feelings, and health matter to you.
That's the real way of love, not that bullshit love.
Right, not bullshit love. In the real world, we see people sacrifice money, food, and other things to help someone that they love.
That's real love.
In the real world, we see humans take risks protecting and defending the people that they love.
Yeah, watch a grizzly bear with her cubs. See what happens when you walk up to those people, right?
If you love someone in a healthy way, then you should be willing to sacrifice for them.
Right.
If you're willing to die for them, why wouldn't you be willing to get sober for them?
Think about that.
If you're willing to give them protection and would defend them from an intruder, then why wouldn't you be willing to protect and defend them from the pain of your active addiction?
Wow, why wouldn't you be willing to protect and defend them from the pain of your active addiction? And where does this active addiction comment here?
Active addiction is selfish, self-absorbed, and self-centered.
Sounds horrible.
Recovery is selfless, self-aware, and self-sacrifice.
Yeah, recovery is selfless, self-aware, and self-sacrifice. And the last part there?
Please make your love real. Please make your love demonstratable. Please make your love actionable.
So watch this. You go on any kind of TV show like Judge Mathis and you run around saying this contract, I want to buy this car from this guy for $5,000. We shook on it. We have a deal. It says, well, there's nothing in writing. Yeah, well, guess what? A verbal contract is legally binding. So if you're going to run around telling people that you love them, make that shit actionable. I got moms coming to my office and they're crying their eyes out and the kid says, I love my mom. Okay, but why you got needles in your arm? Why you got track marks all over your arms? Why are you still shooting heroin? Love is actionable. And the idea is to break the cycle of addiction by recognizing that love is a powerful factor.
Okay, well, let me play devil's advocate for a second. Active addiction is selfish, self-absorbed, and self-centered. So you're saying that all these addicts are selfish, self-absorbed, and self-centered?
Inactive addiction. But guess what? When the recovery process kicks in, it's part of breaking the denial. And part of breaking the denial is to tell somebody, you do love your mom, right? So how come you wouldn't give her any heroin? Well, I'd never do that to my mother. Well, why not? And all of a sudden they'll say, because it's wrong. Then I say to somebody, well, guess what? I'm asking you to stop doing things that are wrong, because as you care about others, you should care about yourself. And self-love and self-care is also part of the process of recovery. Let's talk about the 12 steps. Very important concept. And the 12 steps equals the serenity prayer. Please go ahead, Genevieve.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Wow, this prayer is pretty simple. It's got 3 parts to it: acceptance, change, and wisdom. Please continue.
A, things to accept. I need to accept these things about myself, my condition, and my situation.
So guess what? The first 5 steps of the 12-step program are all about acceptance of yourself and your situation and your condition, okay? And so it's all about acceptance here. Let's hear about step number 1.
1, I need to accept that I'm powerless over drugs and alcohol. I need to accept that I cannot use drugs in a normal, manageable way.
So 2 components here. We got powerlessness. When you use drugs or alcohol, you cannot guarantee the outcome. You can't guarantee that law enforcement shows up, or you can't guarantee that moms won't cry. You also can't guarantee how much you're going to spend. The unmanageable part means it's not sustainable. How about number 2?
2, I need to accept that I was not behaving in a sane manner.
Yeah, insane is relative, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is what's called insane.
3, I need to accept that my life would be better if I turned it over to God.
God sounds scary. How about just saying good, orderly direction, G-O-D?
Yeah, I mean, I call my higher power or my God dude.
Yeah, dude. Dude is safe.
Yeah,
dude is a loving and caring higher power.
Yes, he is.
How about number 4?
4, I need to accept my moral inventory.
Who the fuck am I?
What is good about me and what is bad about me.
Yes, figure out who this person is. How about number 5?
5, I need to accept these facts internally, both good and bad, by admitting them to myself, God, and another person.
So the first 5 steps of these 12-step programs are all about acceptance. How about getting some power back in my life, okay? Let's hear about the next 5 steps, things that can change myself and my condition and my situation.
Okay, so this is part B.
Yep.
B, things to change. I need to change these things about myself, my condition, and my situation.
All right, number 6.
6, I can change my defects of character. 7 deadly sins. I can become better.
If you were a drunken horse thief and you stopped drinking, what would you be? A sober horse thief.
I was about to say a drunken horse thief, but
you're
not drinking.
But you're a sober horse thief, but you still can't date my sister. Not good enough for me. Please continue.
I guess I haven't heard that one in meetings yet.
There you go. How about number 7?
I can change my shortcomings by asking God to remove them. I can improve myself.
Kaizen, self-improvement, always trying to be better. How about number 8?
I can begin to change the damage that I caused by identifying people that I have harmed.
Yeah, it's about being humble.
9, I can change how I feel and how I feel about what I did by making direct amends to them whenever possible.
Except when it causes you or other people damage, right? We don't do it there. How about number 10?
10, I can change the future by preventing errors today. I need to check myself daily through an inventory, and when I'm wrong, promptly admit it.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself, homegirl. All right, that's all about change. It gives you power back in your life over your condition and situation. Let's talk about things that can bring you wisdom over your condition and situation. Number 11.
C. Well, this is C, right?
Yep,
Okay,
that's the
so
third part of the
C.
Serenity Prayer,
Okay.
the wisdom portion, my favorite
Things
portion.
bring me wisdom. 11, I can gain wisdom by praying and meditating. I need to gain wisdom by praying for God's will for me.
And oftentimes when we pray, we talk to God, and we meditate, we listen to God. That's oftentimes the theme, right? How about number 12? I love number 12.
I can gain wisdom by helping other addicts and practicing my new principles in all that I do.
Yeah, it's good karma. How about this idea behind wisdom in the text box there?
By 3 methods we can learn wisdom.
All right.
First, by reflection, which is noblest.
Like that?
Second, by imitation, which is easiest.
Pretty good.
And third, by experience, which is the bitterest.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So you want to kind of learn from somebody else's mistakes, not make your own. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Let's flip it over. So we got these 12 steps, right? And how about this idea that the first 5 steps will get you sober, the next 5 steps will keep you sober, and the last 2 steps will improve the quality of your sobriety. Let's hear about number 1, Genevieve.
We admitted we were powerless over alcohol and addiction, that our lives have become unmanageable.
So there's 12 steps in this program, right? But only one of them mentions drugs and alcohol. That's pretty fascinating. So that means that 11 out of 12 steps don't even mention alcohol. Bill Wilson, who was a really smart guy, was approached by people from the NA program. They said, hey, Bill Wilson, we want to use your steps. And so people in AA didn't like the idea because we don't want like drug addicts using our steps. And Bill Wilson said, absolutely. And they said, we're just going to change the first step. The rest is going to be the same. So right now to this day, there's over 14 different 12-step programs who only have a difference in the first step. Let's say you had a gambling problem. You would say, we admitted we were powerless over our gambling, and our lives had become unmanageable. Let's say that you had an overeating problem. You would say, we admitted we were powerless over food, and our lives had become unmanageable. And over these 14 different types of programs are helping millions of people throughout the world improve the quality of their lives. How about number 2?
Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity.
Yeah, why not? How about number 3?
Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him.
That's grabbing recovery by the hand, walking up to the altar and saying, I do. We're married. This is for life. How about number 4?
Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves.
Once again, figure out who the fuck I am. How about number 5?
Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs.
That's when you purge yourself, right? You go in there and you do a little bit of confession. How about number 6?
We're entirely ready to have God remove all of our defects of character.
I'm ready to be different. I'm ready to make a big change.
7, humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings.
Nice. How about number 8?
Made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all.
That's symbolic about a humble person. A humble person is willing to make those kinds of changes and amends. How about number 9?
Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, and to do so would injure, or except when to do so would injure them or others.
Except when to do so would injure themselves or others. And how about number 10?
Continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it.
Yeah, keep that ego in check. Now, the last 2 steps will improve the quality of your sobriety. Let's hear about step number 11. It gives you gaining some wisdom there.
Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out.
That's sweet, and the power to carry that out. Execute. How about number 12?
Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all of our affairs.
Yeah, create good karma, help and heal other people. How about character defects? What does it say about that?
Character defects are things that I do and that I should not be doing.
Yeah.
Shortcomings
Things that I do
are
that I
things,
should not be doing, right?
Yeah, shortcomings are things I should do that I'm not doing.
Wow. And all those things allow us to become a better person. We put the drugs and alcohol down, which is good. That's called abstinence. But recovery is more sophisticated. Recovery is an active change in attitudes, ideas, and behaviors.
Wait, can you explain shortcomings further?
Yeah, basically shortcomings are things that you should do that you are not doing. So if you're involved in procrastination or involved with any kind of toxic relationship, things that you should do that you are not doing. Moving on to the next level.
Mm-hmm.